This is lesson 64, using money to model decimal numbers. So it's going to be a lot of talk about place value. So the place value is the value of a digit based on its position within a number. So if I have the number 341, the number 4 is worth 4 tens. So that's the place value is the tens place. The value is 4 of those tens, or 40, right? This part was confusing in the book. If you read it carefully, I think you'll get it. I'm going to go over it quickly. So if I have 1 and I multiply it by 10, I get the place value of 10. So if I have a 1 in the tens place, I have 10. If I multiply that times 10, I have a 1 in the hundreds place, I have 100. If I multiply that times 10, I have a 1 in the thousands place, and I have 1,000. If I have a 1 in the thousands place and I divide it by 10, I get 100. Divide it by 10, I get 10. Divide it by 10, I get 1. So every time I move my place value, I'm either multiplying or dividing by 10. I'm going to keep doing that when I have decimals. So if I have 1, notice my big decimal here. I have 1/10 divided again by 10. I have 1/100th divided again by 10. I have 1,000th. So ones place, tenths place, hundredths place, thousandths place. That number is 1/10. That number is 100th, so I have a 1 in the hundredth place. And then that number is 1,000th. Sometimes if you say it, you kind of spit a little bit. 100th, put that TH on the end. 1,000th, right? Okay. This chart was comparing place value to money. So take a look at that chart in the book if you need to. The hundreds place, here's my decimal. So ones place, tens place, hundreds place. You use $100 bills, $10 bills, $1 bills. And then if you cut that dollar apart, you have dimes. That's 1/10. So 10 dimes are in a dollar. So if I had 10 tens, 10 tenths, I would have 10 dimes. And then 100 pennies. So 100th. All right. If I wanted to use money, actual money, to find this amount, I would have 6 $1 bills. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What about this? That's the tenths place. So if I go back up, I see that's dimes. So I have 2 dimes. And that's the hundredths place. So if I want to think about a dollar cut into 100 pieces, I'm going to have pennies, right? So I have 5 pennies. And I cut myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I was going to do this, and I was on the computer finding out how to cut out little coin shapes. I had my Monopoly money. And then I realized, oh, I have real money. So that was much easier than cutting out all the little pieces. So the ones place, I use $1 bills. The tenths place, I use dimes, because each dime stands for 10 pennies. And the hundredths place, I use pennies, right? Okay. Example 1 says a combination of money. And you're going to use the smallest combination you can of $1 bills, dimes, and pennies. So 4 $1 bills, 6 dimes, because that's the tenths place, and 5 pennies. I could use a nickel here, right? But they didn't let me use nickels. It was just dollar bills, dimes, and pennies, because they wanted to talk about multiples of 10. All right, example 2, in this number, what's the place value of 4? So remember my ones, my tenths, my hundredths. So the place value of 4, it's in the hundredths place, right? You have a 4 in the hundredths place, so you have 4 hundredths, but the place value is the hundredths place. Example 3, they ask, is $3.67 closer to $3.60 or $3.70? So to find that out, I'm going to round to the tenths place. So let's mark my place. So I did the tenths place. I'm going to look next door. Is that 5 or greater? Yes. So I'm going to add one more to the place I marked. So 370. Because it rounds to 370, it's closer to 370. So $3.70 is where it's closest to. Example 4, on his way home from work, Javon stopped at the supermarket and purchased carrots for $1.66, broccoli for $3.42, and cauliflower for $2.55. What's a reasonable estimate for the cost of the vegetables? Okay, so I could round that to $2, to $3, and to $3, but these aren't very close to whole dollar amounts, aren't they? They're much closer to like $1.50, $2.50, and I could still add those pretty easily. So in this case, I'm going to use compatible numbers rather than round it. So I'm going to round it to the nearest $0.50, right? So what is 166? That's pretty close to 150, right? That's pretty close to 350, and that's pretty close to 250. That's pretty easy. I can do that. So 0, 5, carry the 1, 2, 4, plus 3 is 750. So that's pretty close, right? What if I had rounded this to whole dollars? So I would round that to $2, that one to $3, and that one to $3, right? I'm marking my place, looking next door, that whole thing. So what would I get? 0, 0, 6, 7, $8. So $7.50 and 8. Which is a better estimate? $7.50 is closer. This is still a good estimate. Depends on how accurate you want to be. And there's some leeway when you're working on estimates and rounding. So if you had not chosen to do by $0.50, you'd still be okay. Unless it tells you use compatible numbers, your choice. Okay, good luck on this.